Welcome to Second Chapter Stories, where we share powerful journeys of ordinary people who found the courage to begin again. These are stories of resilience, reinvention, and hope. Stories that remind us that it's never too late to revisit a dream, reclaim a passion, or write a new chapter. Today's story is about a man who spent 20 years convincing himself that his dream no longer mattered. Until one question changed everything. Let's begin. At 47, Joseph stood before a crowd signing copies of his first published book. People congratulated him, asked for photos, thanked him for sharing his story. But what few of them knew was that 20 years earlier, Joseph had given up on this dream completely. Life had gotten in the way. Responsibilities had taken over, and he had buried his dreams so deeply that he convinced himself it no longer existed. Until one unexpected moment brought it back to life. This is his story. When Joseph was in his 20s, he wanted to be a writer. Not casually, not someday. He dreamed about it constantly. He filled notebooks with ideas, wrote short stories late into the night, imagined seeing his name on the cover of a book. Writing made him feel alive. It gave him purpose. It gave him joy. But dreams don't exist in isolation. Life has a way of making demands. After his university came work. After work came marriage. After marriage came children. Bills, responsibilities, unexpected expenses. The years moved quickly and slowly, almost without noticing. Joseph stopped writing. At first, he told himself it was temporary. He would return to it when things settled down, when work became less demanding, when the children got older, when life became easier. But life never became easier. The years continued to pass. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. The notebooks disappeared into storage boxes. The dream became a memory. Occasionally, Joseph would see an interview with an author or walk through a bookstore and feel a small ache inside. But he would quickly push it away. That chapter of his life was over. Or so he believed. Then, shortly after his 45th birthday, something happened. A close friend passed away unexpectedly. The loss shook him deeply. At the funeral, speaker after speaker talked about the things his friend had accomplished, the risks he had taken, the life he had fully embraced. Driving home that evening, Joseph found himself asking a question he could not escape. What dreams am I carrying that I never gave a chance? The question stayed with him for days, then weeks, then months. Eventually, he pulled an old box from the storage. Inside were notebooks he had not opened in years, pages filled with ideas, characters, stories, dreams. As he turned the pages, something inside him woke up. Not regret, possibility. For the first time in decades, he allowed himself to imagine what might happen if he started again. The next morning, he wrote for 30 minutes. The day after that, he wrote again, then again. The progress was slow, painfully slow. There were days when the words refused to come, days when self-doubt returned, days when he wondered whether he had waited too long. But unlike his younger self, Joseph no longer measured success by speed. He measured it by consistency. 1 page became 10, 10 became 50, 50 became a manuscript. The manuscript became revisions. The revisions became a finished book. 2 years after reopening that old box, Joseph held the first printed copy in his hands. The dream he thought he had buried forever was finally real. Not because he had more talent, not because he had more time, but because he stopped waiting for the perfect moment. Years later, when people asked him why he started so late, Joseph always gave the same answer. I didn't start late. I started when I finally decided not to quit on myself. Joseph's story reminds us that dreams don't always disappear. Sometimes they simply wait, waiting for courage, waiting for attention, waiting for the moment we decide they still matter. Many people spend years believing they missed their opportunity, that they are too old, too busy, too far behind. But life is not a race against other people. The only question that truly matters is whether we are willing to begin. Joseph didn't get his 20s back. He didn't get his 30s back, but he didn't need them. All he needed was the courage to start where he was, and that made all the difference. Thank you for listening to this episode of Second Chapter Stories. If this story inspired you, please subscribe for more stories of resilience, reinvention, and new beginnings. And tell us in the comments, what dream have you postponed for years? And what is one small step you can take toward it today? We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, remember, a dream delayed is not necessarily a dream denied. Sometimes your second chapter begins when you finally give yourself permission to try.